Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jeevanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadhanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vidyate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Nam Namakari Bahudanja Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Itadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishamiha Jananuragaha. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all excuse me. Your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahasana amaninena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense and false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one should chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. न धनं न झनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Ainandatanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budho कृपया तव पादपङ्कज सितधूलि सदृशं विचिन्तय. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. You want to read?
Krishna devotees, Dhanavatam, all this Prabhupada. Nayanam Galadusu Dhadaya, Badanam Gadgadurudaya Gira, Pulakui Nichitang Gopukata, Tabanam Grahane Bhavishyati. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Nandini Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Yugahitam, is that the one we are on?
Yes.
Yugahitam nimishena chakshusha pravrushahitam shunyahitam jagat sarvam govindam virahena me. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. Thank you, Prabhu Dandavats.
Anyone else wants to read the last one?
I can read it.
Yes.
Ashrishya padaratam vinashtumam adrishnam marma hatam karotu va yattata va vadalantam pato matprana natanastu seva. I know no one but Lord Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or marks of broken hearted, by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Thank you, Prabhuji.
There's only one hatam. I have to fix this. Shri Shri Chaitanya Shri Krishnaštakam Ki Jai.
Jai.
1486, 1555. So that's about 48 years from an external calculation. Chaitanya was present on this planet. Of course, he is present through the holy name. So, I totally forgot where we stopped this one. Yeah, I think we read till 9, so 10 and 11 are for today. So, anyone wants to read text 10?
I can read Prabhuji. Kurmi bhayo purito hare priyataya bhaktim yayur ganinas devo gana vimukto bhakti pramaha premoiko nishthas tapto devvoista pashu palo pankajodras taboyo opi sha radhika presta tadbhat yam tadiyo sharshitam Nasrayat ka krit. Sorry. In the Shastra, it is said that of all types of fruitive workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge, may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her Kundo lake is profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis, who then will not, a little bit down, reside at Radhakund and in a spiritual body, searches with ecstatic devotional feelings of Prakrita Bhavo, render loving service to the divine couple Sri Radha Govinda who perform their Ashtakalya Lila, Kalyo Lila, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of the Radhakunda are the most fortunate people in the universe. So, Prabhuji, if you can explain a little bit eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Hare Krishna.
Eternal eightfold daily pastimes, because the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, of course, is a very esoteric topic and very high level. But Kal means time. So there are like the pastimes of the Supreme Lordships are divided based on the time. Like everything has its time. Like Nishanta Leela and then the Again, I don't know, I read somewhere all these time, like from this time to this time, there's a period that's called this Leela. Like one which is coming to my mind is Nishant Leela. Nisha Anta. Like the night is ending. It's like the morning, like for one devotee in I think Kundat Prabhu explains this nicely in one of his classes. So, but in just summary, that the 8 parts of the day is divided, and that's called the 8 Ashtakaliya Leela. Kala means time here, and that's the eternal pastime of the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, last verse of Deshamrita. Anyone wants to read?
So Prabhuji, I can read. Krishna Yocha Pranaya Vasati Rasabhyopi Radha Kundam Jasya Munibir Apitas Tadgir Eva Vyadyai Yat Prasathair Api Alam Asulabham Kim Punar Bhakti Bhajam Tat Premadam Sakad Api Sara Snatu Viskaroti. Of the many objects of favored delight and all the lovable damsels of Rajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained, even by great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Very good.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Shri Deshamrita Ki Jai. So we'll read some verses from Bhagavad Gita. So we completed the 50 verses yesterday. So we'll read fresh again. We'll start the cycle again. So Silas Prabhu, you want to start the first 2 verses?
Yes, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam everyone. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsava mamaka pandavaschaiva kima kurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Karpanya doshopahat avabhava prachami tvam dharma samuddacheta yache re shyanishchitam bruhitam me shishyasteham sadi mam tvam prapannam. Now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain that is best for me. Now I am your disciple and the soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yes, Jyoti Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्ते धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyone hasn't got chance, feeling left out? No one?
I can read it. Matraspachyastu kaunteya sitoshna sukhadukkada agamapaino nitya swam tadikshasva bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance is due course, are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from the sense perception, no, O sign of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
220 न जायन्ते मृत्यते वा कदाचिन् नयं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूया अजो नित्य शाश्वतो यत्पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. It does not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. It is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain, and the body is slain. Reborn.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so we'll read the rest now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narnarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad-Bhagvatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Namami Damodara Pada Pankajam Karomi Damodara Pujanam Sada Vadami Damodara Nama Nirmalam Smarami Damodara Leela Sundaram Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamalini Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much again for joining. We are reading the prayers of surrender of the king of the elephants, Gajendra. Where was he present? Who knows this? Where is this thing happening? Anyone remembers? Yes, Mataji.
Raivataka mountain in the I'll give up.
Anyone else wants to try?
Trikut Parvat.
Which Parvat?
Trikut.
Trikuta. Yes, three peaks, gold, iron, silver. And where in specifically more to be more precise in that, because it was very big, 10,000 miles, right? 10,000 miles cube. 10,000 yojanas actually, right? It was the units, 10,000 yojanas. 10 million, 10,000? I forgot the dimension, but there was
10,000.
10,000 yojanas. So, and where specifically in Trikuta?
Rutmat garden.
Ritumat garden, yes. So now he has chanted these wonderful prayers till text number 29. And then 30th verse, Sri Shukadev Goswami says that Lord Hari appears. Lord Hari appears. The prayers invoked Lord Hari. So let's study the next verse, which is text number 31. And those who have not read, for the entire week, Please raise your hand if anyone has not read for the entire week yet. Okay, Sudhir Prabhu, like, why don't you start today? You're not read and in the middle of the debate.
After you, Prabhu.
There are only 2-3 verses left, so that's all we will study today.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Tam tadvad artam upalabhya jagan nivesha stotram nishamya dvija saha samstuvadbhi chadoya chado chando mayane gurudhena samyuham myanas chakrayudho abhyagamad asuyato Gajendra. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After understanding this awkward condition of Gajendra, who had offered his prayers, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who lives everywhere, appeared with the demigods who were offering prayers to him, carrying his disc and weapons, and appeared there on the back of his carrier Garuda with great speed according to his desire. Thus he appeared before Gajendra. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura specifically hints that since Gajendra was in such a difficult position and was praying for the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods who could have immediately gone to the rescue hesitated to go there, since they considered Gajendra's prayers to be directed towards the Lord. They felt offended, and this in itself was offensive. Consequently, when the Lord went there, they also went and offered prayers to the Lord so that their offense might be excused. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, here, even though Gajendra, he was actually being embarrassed, and even the demigods also did not go because they knew that these prayers was directed to Lord Hari. So even the thought that they have to go is also offensive there. I think that's what I understood, Prabhuji. So as we pour water to the roots, all the you know prayers, all the everything should be directed to Lord Krishna, because he is the ultimate cause. Even though if we are trying to respect the demigods, but we have to keep in our mind that our prayers are dedicated to Lord Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. That's what I understand. Please correct me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So why did the demigods felt offended? The demigods felt offended, right?
Because Gajendra didn't go to them first.
Yes. They felt that Gajendra didn't call us for help. Gajendra called us just as expansions, right? We discussed that he called all the demigods like Brahma, etc. are just expansions of the Supreme Lord. So sometimes, and therefore we know that being a demigod is often a risky situation, because with the name, fame, intelligence, what comes? Pride. And एक बार मान इंद्र कुमारियो नख ऊपर गोवर्धन धारियो नाम पड़ेयो गिरिधारी श्याम श्याम श्याम. So we have seen that Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill on the little finger of his left hand, and that's coming day after tomorrow is Govardhan Puja. So Indra also became proud that how, and that's actually a lesson for all of us, that how when material nature gives us something, we may become proud. It could be wealth, it could be intelligence, it could be some job, it could be some position in society, it could be anything. And then one may feel that, oh, why they didn't consult me on this topic, right? Why they went to that devotee to go? I am such a senior Vaishnava here. Everyone consults me. That Gajendra propensity, sorry, that propensity, that offensive mentality, that's offensive mentality. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is mentioning that thinking, oh, I am important figure in the society or in the devotee community, or I am important, so everyone should first come to me. How can they approach other person? So humility is the essence, and we have to understand that whatever little so-called intelligence, so-called wealth, so-called some qualities, so-called, it's all the blessings of Vaishnavas and Guru and Sadhus and Shastra. So in the beginning it may not be there, but once one spends few years, one has to go through that purificatory process, because the tendency to think that I am great, tendency to think that everyone should consult me, uh, is very, very, or I'm the Lord. I'm. We discussed yesterday. Why are we suffering here? Because tendency to become the masters, tendency to enjoy separate from the Lord. So the demigods also felt, hey, why is Gajendra calling Vishnu directly? Are we are just ordinary people? But the good thing is, now what's the difference between divine and demoniac? A divine person, a good person, may make mistakes, but they introspect and realized it very shortly that Baba, we made a mistake. So what to do to rectify that mistake? They also came along to rectify that mistake, that Lord, we also want to offer prayers unto you because we forgot our true position. Kindly forgive us. So that's an important lesson. That it's not that on the path of sadhana bhakti, we cannot expect to act perfectly all the time, especially in the neophyte state. So as soon as we make mistake, as soon as we realize, oh, I have made a mistake which I should have not done, I felt something inappropriate, or I did something inappropriate, or I thought of something inappropriate, let me atone for that. Let me do the right prayashchitta. Let me do the needful, by taking shelter of Guru Sadhu Shastra. So they also came along to pray to the Lord so that they can be excused of their mistake and their inappropriate propensity, that they need more uh, awe and reverence and prayers than the Lord Himself. Any other comments or additions on this topic?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Raghu Prabhu. Thank you. So, just a thought that came to me here is like, we are very fortunate that, when we chant, part of the process of purification, I'm experiencing is that we become aware, we become critical of ourselves, so we look at our own behavior also. So we're not, criticizing other people. We are looking at our own behavior. We become aware of our own offenses. So that is the first step, So if we are not aware of our own behavior, then we can't correct ourselves. So when we do become aware that, we could do things better. So like morning when we pray, one of the things that we should include is that, I want to be more purified and become more holy and more pure. So if that thought is there throughout the day, then we see our own behavior where it is falling short. Even after the offense has occurred, we become angry or, proud or whatever. But as soon as we detect that, the great blessing is that first we can detect it, and second, that we know that we have to correct it, and then we put in the effort to correct it, because it doesn't happen automatically. So we have to see next time it doesn't happen, So that self correction and self purification requires our effort, and then hopefully Krishna also will see that and give us his grace. So that is my 2 cents worth, Prabhuji. So Raghu, sorry for interrupting you. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So I have just one comment. In the material world, if you're working in a company or something, if you have some problem, we have to go through a chain of command. So you can't go straight to the CEO. You go to your direct boss or to the human resources. So there are different departments, and we have to do it that way, not directly to the CEO. So here we have a different situation where the different demigods have in charge of different activities, but then we have spiritual world. We approach Gajendra approaches the Supreme Lord himself. That's my comment.
Yes. That's the difference between material and spiritual. Because the CEO himself is saying, come to me directly. Can anyone prove that with any verse from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam? Where the CEO himself is saying, you come to me.
Sarvadharman Parityaja.
Sarvadharman Parityaja. Yes, very nice. Anyone, any other on this same theme?
So Krishna was also telling that Jehapo Anno Devata Bhajante Priti Purvakam, Jehapo Mam Abo, and probably mix Bhajante, but Abhidhi Purvakam.
Abhidhi Purvakam.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So approaching demigods, as said, Krishna is saying Avidhi Purvakam. Vidhi means process. Improper process. It's taking an indirect path. Why you take an indirect path? Recently we read Alpamedasam. Yabhajanti Anya Devta Alpamedasam. Alpa means short or small. Medha is buddhi. Men of less intelligence, people of less intelligence take that path. So yes, your analogy is right in the material world. It is correct. But here we're talking about totally different thing. So and the Supreme Lord is himself saying this. So it's substantiated through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Is that okay, Prabhu? So, but nice
Manmana Bhakta also comes in that.
Yes, so many verses are there. Come, my devotee, offer unto me. Okay. Yes, Raghu Prabhu, you can read the next verse.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna devotees, text 32. So nata sarasi rubalena grita arto diswa kurutmati harim ka upata chakram ukasipya sambuja karam giramaha kratcharan Narayana Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Gajendra had been forcefully captured by the crocodile in the water and was feeling acute pain. But when he saw that Narayana, wielding his disc, was coming in the sky on the back of Garuda, he immediately took a lotus flower in his trunk, and with great difficulty due to his painful condition, he uttered the following words: O my Lord, Narayana, Master of the universe, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. The King of Elephants was so very eager to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead that when he saw the Lord coming in the sky with great pain and in a feeble voice, he offered respect to the Lord. A devotee does not consider a dangerous position to be dangerous, for in such a dangerous position, he can fervently pray to the Lord in great ecstasy. Thus, a devotee regards danger as a good opportunity. Tatte nukam pam sushmak smanaha. When a devotee is in great danger, he sees the danger to be the great mercy of the Lord, because it is an opportunity to think of the Lord very sincerely and with undiverted attention. Tatte nukapam susam mano bunjana evattamaktajam kritam vipakam. Bhagavatam 10:14-8. He does not accuse the Supreme Personality of Godhead for having let his devotee fall into such a dangerous condition. Rather, he considers the dangerous condition to be due to his past misdeeds and takes it as an opportunity to pray to the Lord and offers thanks for having been given such an opportunity. When a devotee lives in this way, his salvation, his going back home, back to Godhead, is guaranteed. We can see this to be true from the example of Gajendra, who anxiously prayed to the Lord and thus received an immediate chance to return home back to Godhead. So this was it's being described how Gajendra, after invoking Lord Hari appeared with a lotus flower. Lord Hari appeared wielding a disc, and Gajendra, in spite of his pain and with great difficulty, he was in great distress. Somehow he was able to offer a lotus flower and his trunk to the Lord. So, although being in extreme distress and very painful, and at the moment of death, Gajendra was actually very grateful to see the Lord. And it says in this verse that when we pray to the Lord, when we are in such great difficulty, we shouldn't be blaming the Lord, but actually thankful for Him giving us an opportunity to get salvation by praying to Him. That's what I get from this. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Let's meditate upon this wonderful picture today. Trikuta mountain, very, very beautiful. Nice flower, trees and birds and lotuses, and Gajendra was caught in the Ritumad gardens, in the lake. His family, wives, relatives could not really do much. They tried a lot. Ultimately, if he first thought, okay, my own strength, I am the Gajendra, king of the elephants. But the crocodile, being a land animal, was more powerful, or he was gaining strength. Finally, he said these wonderful prayers. And at last, see, look at the tears in his eyes. He's crying. He's helpless. He is completely taken shelter of the Lord. Enchanted, unalloyed prayers. Keeps in complete samadhi. Vivasatmika, the mind, body, heart at one place. Lotus feet of the Lord. And then Krishna says, Ye tamam prapadyante tam sataiv bhajamyaham. He is very, very attentive to give mercy to all of us. Anyone remembers that? Akhila kripa alayaya nama kripa, that he is alayaya. He's not lazy to give kripa. He's he's waiting. When will my child call to me? So the moment Gajendra called with complete love and devotion, the Lord appeared sitting on his Garuda with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. And then look at this Gajendra. At that moment also, in the peak of all dangers, he's chanting He's calling out the last line of this verse. Narayana Akhila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Akhila means? What does Akhila mean? Anyone knows? Without seeing?
All.
Complete.
All, complete, universal. Akhila Karanaya. We read that. Akhila Guru, Guru of everyone. Narayana, the Supreme Lord. Akhila Guru is the Supreme Master. Bhagavan Namaste. Unto that Supreme Lord, oh my Lord, please accept this flower with his words, with his heart, with his each and every cell of his body is saturated with devotion and offering one's complete self to the Supreme Lord by calling out these prayers. How many of us have experienced that when there is a difficulty in our life, we are very attentive in our spiritual life? Anyone has experienced that? Kashish Mataji is raising. I have experienced also many times. Like I was going by this bus way back, like 7-8 years back. Yeah, and the bus happened to meet with an accident, and I was chanting before also in the bus, but I don't know when I fell asleep. It was a long 7-hour journey, so I just fell asleep. But then, bang! Then there was an accident, and few people got injured, and then the bus was about to fall off the cliff. And then after that, when I chanted, I didn't, I was like super attentive. Oh my Lord, you saved me. Oh my Lord, it was, and they have been like, this is just one of those many, many instances. Anyone else wants to share from their example, from their experience, if it's not so confidential, that so many sannyasis have shared that they are traveling in the flight and then there is sometimes turbulence and then they say, okay, let's pray to God. Now only God can save, and everyone is super attentive. So, anyone wants to share any, that how difficulty is kind of a blessing in disguise to take shelter of the Lord?
Prabhuji, so in Florida, I think a few days back we had a kind of a storm. So that night, when you're going to bed, we are praying more fervently to the Lord, to a protection from, all the things happening. So calamity is actually in disguise, like Kunti Maharani says. So it actually, Kṛṣṇa is pushing us to closer to him actually, and it's an opportunity for us to get closer to Kṛṣṇa. So we should actually thank the Lord for sharpening our memory about him. So the only thing is we have to remember that at the final moment. That is the real challenge, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Yes, Kashish Mataji.
In the same way that we go through some difficult times, same thing, we had the typhoon 2 days back and it was so terrible. But we all face that. But one thing is always there, that deep inside there is a faith that, Kṛṣṇa is taking care of everything. So whatever is happening, we have to just calmly face it. So that unseen kripa, you always feel that, okay, whatever is happening, it cannot be happened without the wish, without his will. So it strengthens your faith. I mean, whatever happens in your life, in your like these incidents, they gives us a kind of strength that Kṛṣṇa is there, he's there, I feel.
Thank you. Thank you. Prabhupada, if we observe the heart of Prabhupada here twice, just one line, and then after the other line, again he's mentioned Tatyanukampam verse. So we can imagine like what must be going on in the heart of Srila Prabhupada while doing this purport. And just like in 3 lines, if we see in one line and the next line again, Tatyanukampam verse. It's so interesting that we have to continue to offer Tatyanukampam susamikshamano Bhunjani vatma kritam vipakam Hridvagvapurбhir vidadhan namaste Jivetya mukti pade sadaya bhak. So it's a very important verse to learn actually, 10:14:8. We read that in the prayers of Lord Brahma, if for those who remember just last month, in the Purushottam month, we read that recently. So tattenu kampam susamikshamano, that while going through all the ups and downs, we have to be tolerant. So one thing, we have to be tolerant. That ups and downs will come in everyone's life, no matter who we are, Indian or American, or Florida or New York or Delhi or Bombay, whatever country, city, there will be always ups and downs, physical challenges, adi bhautik, corona, financial, emotional, relationships. So many challenges are there. Everyone has going through. But what, should we then stop bhakti? No. Rid, Vag, and Vapu, three things. Rid is heart, Vag is Vani or words, and Vapu is body, BMW, body, mind, words, or body, mind, and heart. Continue with the Dhan Namaste. So you can remember this line. Narayanaya Akhila Guru, Narayana Akhila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. You continue to offer Namaste or Pranam, or surrender. Namo Namaste. Namaste comes in so many verses, so many prayers, so many bhajan. Namaste Narashingaya. So then the kingdom of God is a rightful claim. Like a good child naturally inherits the wealth of the father or the mother, the kingdom of God, a good child, a good son, or a good daughter naturally gets it. If one continues to offer prayers to Supreme Lord, and we have all experienced in different aspects that how danger is actually a blessing in disguise. Now that does not mean we, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said that does not mean that we ask for more dangers like Kunti Maharani. Whatever we have, if in that we can handle properly and not forget Krishna, that's great. Because it's easy to give up. The difficulties, two outcomes are there. Either one will intensify one's bhakti and become more sincere in one's bhakti. This is my experience or whatever in this limited body. Or one will give up one's bhakti. I've seen both of those outcomes in different situations. Either one will lose faith. Hey Krishna, why? Like one of my friends, his brother died due to young brother, 26-year-old, and it was a difficult story, and I can imagine that it's a very difficult time for the parents whose young son or daughter, young child, in the peak of their youth, has to go through that. It's very difficult. But they're still, like 2-3 years have passed and they're still not able to overcome that trauma, and they have stopped the spiritual life. So situations will come, life is not a bed of roses. Difficult situations will come no matter who we are. But we have to not give up bhakti. That should just help us to intensify our bhakti. And I have seen many examples where difficult situations came. Of course, it's painful. Of course, we are humans. Of course, we go through that emotional trauma. But we have to heal in that right time and continue to intensify bhakti, that understanding more that this life is temporary, this kamala dala jala jivana thalamaya. So we have to try to go in the other side. The difficulty should help us to intensify our bhakti, not lose our faith. Hey Krishna, why you did this to me? I was chanting your holy name. Why I lost my job? Why my visa didn't get approved? My friend's visa, he's not chanting. His visa got approved. or he got a promotion and I got laid off. Why, Krishna, you are doing this to me? Or why this happened to my child? Or why this happened to my so and so? So things will happen. We have to continue our faith, continue our surrender, and Krishna is just helping us to grow better. Any other comments or additions in this text? Any questions around this? Okay, who else has not read throughout this week? They have not read any words or any purport or anything. Anyone? Kashish Mataji? You have not read? Want to read? Okay, last verse. Please read.
तं वीक्ष्य पीडितं वचः सहसात्वतीर्य सग्राहमाशु सरसः कृपयोजहारः ग्राहादविपाटित मुखादरिणा गजेन्द्रं सपश्यतां हरिर्मुमुचतु अच्छीन्द्रियाणाम्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, seeing Gajendra in such an aggrieved position, the unborn Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, immediately got down from the back of Garuda by his causeless mercy and pulled the king of the elephants along with the crocodile out of the water. Then, in the presence of all the demigods who were looking on, the Lord severed the crocodile's mouth from its body with his disc. In this way, he saved Gajendra, the king of the elephants. Purport. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 3rd chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled Gajendra's Prayers of Surrender. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Chi. So, this is the last verse of chapter 3. The Lord immediately got down. That means he didn't delay. The point here is that the Lord is very, very eager to help us. He's very, very attentive to help his devotee. In his kripa, there is no delay. If the devotee calls out with that attention, sincerity, and seriousness, then the Lord immediately will rescue by his causeless mercy. So he pulled out the elephant, the king of elephants, Gajendra, and then what? Beheaded the crocodile. Beheaded the crocodile. So Gajendra was saved. And now some devotees give this purport that, of course, getting killed by the Lord is also no joke, right? They also get all the people in the opposite side of Pandavas. They also died in the battlefield. They also get better situation than their current material life. So that is the liberation, the Brahmajyoti aspect we have discussed. So the Lord personally kind of beheaded the crocodile. So some the Vaishnavacharyas give the purport that if we take shelter of devotee like Gajendra, then the Lord will deliver first. Gajendra's crocodile held the lotus feet of Gajendra. But again, we don't have to hold the lotus feet to the extent that person is troubled. That's a deeper meaning. Of course, we will see what happened to Gajendra and what happened to the crocodile, and that's the subject matter of next chapter. The story is still not yet complete. There is one more chapter in this Gajendra series. So chapter 2, 3, and 4. In the chapter 1, this was just a hint was given, like one line summary was there, and 2, 3, 4 talk about the story of Gajendra in detail. So chapter 2 is like the setting the scene, And what happened? 3 is primarily the prayers from 2 to 29. And then 4 is Gajendra goes back home, back to Godhead. And that's such a title of chapter 4. Gajendra's return to spiritual world. So again, just a very high level summary. Lots of wonderful prayers are there in this chapter. It starts with this important verse which we discussed, that Sri Badarayani Uvacha, how he was evam vyavasito buddhya samadho manohridi, that he was situated in a completely fixed position, his mind and heart completely fixed. Jajapyam paramam japyam pragajanmi anu shikshitam. He learned this mantra, these set of mantras in his previous life as the king, and he chanted this great mantra. Then there are prayers that how the Lord is the supreme origin of everyone, the supreme energy, the supreme energetic. He has no cause. He's the cause of all. Nishkaranaya. He is the Sarva Karanaya, Akhila Karanaya, Nishkaranaya. He has no cause. And he is Yosmat Parasmat Cha Paras. He is above all these cause and effect. And we discussed the example of the pot and earth, referring to the universe and the Lord. He is the supreme energetic as well. No one can easily understand him. Even the demigods can't understand him. He appears in many, many forms. Namo Ghoraya Shantaya. He chanted this word, Ghora, Narshingadev, Shanta, Vasudeva. And in the Kurma, Namo, in different, even like animal forms like Kurma and Varaha and etc. So, Namo Atma Pradipaya, Sakshine Paramatmane. Namo Giram Viduraya, Namaste Chetasamapi. We learned that verse as well. That how Lord is Sakshi, how he is Pradipa, he can kill the ignorance. He is the supreme enlightener in the heart. And then Gajendra also mentioned, how can one see? Only through the process of Bhakti Yoga, not through any other process. And then the incarnations were also discussed. And again, he's the supreme father, he's the supreme director, he's the supreme cause, supreme enlightener, supremely merciful. Muktaya Bhuri Karunaya Namo Layaya Bhuri Karunaya Bhuri Bhuri Prashansa Bhuri Karunaya, unlimited mercy showers. But is he lazy? No. Alayaya. He is not lazy. We discussed that. And then Gajendra is not calling out of pride. He's saying, well, Madrik Prapanne Pashupasha Vimoksha Naya. I am a Pashu. I am an animal. I am Jada. I am elephant-headed. Elephants are, they're not considered to be the most intelligent people in the world. So Gajendra is just talking out of great humility. I am just like an ordinary animal. So, but the Lord is so merciful. And then he talks about also motivated worship. Like some people ask for this thing, give me wealth, give me this, give me that. But that's not the best. Then he talks about unmotivated worship. That is, ekantino yasya na kanchanarthanam. They don't ask for anything else. They only ask for Lord's shelter at his lotus feet. That's unmotivated worship. And then he talks about the Supreme Lord's attributes as well, that he is ever existing. He is a transcendental. He's the cause of all the personalities like Brahma. He is beyond all the material elements. And he's the supreme creator, the supreme source, etc. He glorifies in many, many verses. And finally, at the very end of his prayer, he said, Lord, help me. Help me means what? Take me out of the clutches of crocodile? No. Gajendra said, I do not want any more body in this world. I want the topmost thing. That is back home, back to Godhead. So Gajendra didn't ask for a better life, or maybe next life, this crocodile is killing me, make me a crocodile so I can kill him. Or make me the king of crocodiles. I realize in this life, elephant is not the best body to be in. Oh, in this life, oh, I am very poor. In next life, I want to be born in the home of a millionaire or a billionaire. So Gajendra didn't ask for that. Gajendra asked for pure bhakti. Then he also talked about that how there are many, many obstacles. What are the obstacles? He discussed that attachment, me, mine, my family, my this, my wealth, my intelligence, my property, my I, me, and mine is this binds us. The attachment to wealth, attachment to enjoyment binds us, so we cannot think of the Lord properly. This lust, anger, and greed, attachment, covers our real position as Jivara Swarup Hoy Krishna and Nitya Das. So, what is the process? The process is to take shelter of Krishna, who's the real sun. And once take shelter of sun, then there will be no darkness. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hai Andhakar, Yaham Krishna Taha Nahi, Maya Radhikar. Wherever there is Krishna, there can be no darkness. So similarly, where one takes full shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, then there can be no darkness. Devi Esha Gunamai Mama Duratya. Very, very difficult to overcome. But Krishna says, Mamevya Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. If one takes shelter of me, then I will help him over. And finally, 2 to 29 verses, he speaks his wonderful prayers. And then the Lord is just waiting. Lord is waiting. If we take one step, he comes 1,000 steps running. So without any delay, with Garuda Airlines, he came with the Shankha Chakra. And then we'll discuss today that how the demigods felt a little offended. So we discussed the lessons over there as well. Lord Hari appeared. The fourth Manvantara Avatar, Lord Hari appeared. And Gajendra's reception. Gajendra didn't say, Lord, come fast, kill him. In that moment also, he is thinking about the Lord, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Lord, you say in Bhagavad Gita, one who offers flowers. So in that way, he did the best he could, isn't it? He couldn't offer a garland to the Lord. He couldn't prepare Chappan Bhoga for the Lord. All best he could do, there was a lotus flower right there in that lake. He picked that from his hands or his trunk, and right there. So showing that we must do the best we can in whatever situation. Okay, I'm in a situation of difficulty. When you're in an easy situation, we should do even more. But even in a difficult situation, we should not stop our bhakti, and we discussed that we should continue. Okay, we may not be able to do as much as we would want to do or we would like to do. It's a difficult period going on in our life. That's fine. Everyone goes through difficulty. But am I doing the best I can? Gajendra is showing he did the best he could in that time. And that intensified blessing. It's like a blessing in disguise. And then finally, the Lord was there, chopped off the head of the crocodile and saved Gajendra, the king of the elephants. So that's a very high level summary. All these verses are very deep and important. But any comments or thoughts, any corrections, additions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, it's not a question, but I'm trying to understand is what I understood is correct. So, if you see, when we're reading Jagannath book, we come across Purushottama Kshetra, the history of Lord Puri Jagannath Kshetra, and we see about Markandeya Rishi. So, when Markandeya Rishi was in the same trouble, when Yamaraj came, he prayed to Lord Shiva, he's a demigod, and he came and protected Markandeya Rishi. So, I'm trying to understand if Gajendra also called demigod, they would come and save him, but they save him from crocodile, which is a temporary solution, but not from the birth and death cycle. He will not get a permanent solution. So is my understanding right, Prabhuji? Like I'm just trying to understand.
Yes, in fact, I think you missed one of the two sessions or something. We exactly read. I'll repeat. Okay, text number 30 purport. Harim Vina, it's in the middle of the purport. Harim naivash strim taranti. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, death, old age, and disease. It is only the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can rescue one from the dangers of material existence. So, as it is, text number 30 purport answers your question.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, I attended that class, so that's why I'm trying to understand it. So, like if Markandeya Rishi was saved by Lord Shiva also, he was not saved by the from the life and death like the circle or that which comes again. That would be a temporary solution.
So now it depends also, in what aspect we are approaching Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the best amongst the Vaishnavana Mitha Shambhu. Now, if we take shelter of Prabhupada, will we not be saved from the cycle of birth and death? Absolutely, we'll be saved. So, Bhagavan and Bhakti and Bhakta. So, if we take shelter of devotees of the Lord or the Supreme Lord, then we will be saved. So, that means if one takes shelter of Lord Shiva, then Lord Shiva, please take me to your Supreme Master. Please give me pure bhakti. You are the best amongst devotees. Please help me to intensify my bhakti. So, which most people don't approach Lord Shiva in that way. Therefore, it is said to, or most people don't approach demigods with that understanding. Maybe 0.0001% may approach with that, but majority of the population approaches with some material gains. So, therefore, it is generally good enough to say that we should not approach demigods, especially for material gains. But if one takes shelter, like how many people in the Bhagavatam we have discussed take shelter of Narad Muni, Dhruv Maharaj, or Prahlad Maharaj, or Prachetas, and Prachini Bhari, and so many, and Brigari, and Valmiki, and so many examples. They took shelter of a bona fide Guru, who is a representative of the Supreme Lord. So, Kṛṣṇa or his bona fide representatives.
Yes.
Does that?
Yes, Prabhuji. Now the doubt is cleared. So the devotees also we can take shelter, and also you mentioned what we pray to them is very important. If you're asking for the divine knowledge, they will take us to Kṛṣṇa. But if you are asking for something material, that's what they give. Yeah, now it's cleared, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Prabhupada mentions in that Rudra Gita chapter, Canto 4, the best thing Lord Shiva does, the best kripa or the nishkapat kripa, completely mercy of Lord Shiva, complete mercy without any hidden agenda, is that he gives Krishna Bhakti, or he directs them to Lord Krishna. I think there is a verse in the Chaupai, Suno Uma Kahu Anubhav Apana, Bina Hari Nama Jagata Sap Sapna. The holy name is everything. Aradhya Nam Aradhya Nam Paramam Vishnu Aradhya Nam Sarva Aradhya Nam Paramam Vishnu Aradhyam Param. The essence is that amongst all the worship, the worship of Lord Vishnu is, or Krishna is, the topmost. Lord Shiva is speaking this to Parvati. So yes, they are very clear. But if one approaches with like Ravana also approached Lord Shiva. Ravana also was a devotee of Shiva. Nalkuver and Manigriva, we read this recently. They were also devotees of Shiva, or close associates of Lord Shiva. A couple of days back, His Grace Adigadar Prabhu was explaining Shankachuda was a close associate, was a devotee of Kuvera again, Dhanada, who is an associate of Shiva. So, if you approach with material agendas, then just being an associate of Lord Shiva will not help. We see in the life of Nalkuver Manigriva, we see in the life of Shankachuda, and so many other examples as well. Any other comments, additions? Okay, so thank you so much for your wonderful association. We will pause here, and the weekend, special nectar is there. So tomorrow, Grace Nandini Kishori Mataji will speak on the most dear service to Srila Prabhupada, about the books are the basis, and how it is so important, especially in these months, the last couple of months of the year, about book distribution and how we can do in this time and age. And then Sunday, His Grace from Silas Prabhu will speak about Govardhan Puja, because that's the day of Govardhan Puja. So please attend, invite your friends, well-wishers, enemies also. Yes, we do. So thank you so much. Shri Gajendra Stuti ki jai, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktarinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Damodar ki jai, Shri Shraddha Damodar ki jai, Shri Kartik Mas ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.